Hello, everybody. I am Peter the Booklover, and this is Movie Talk. This is where I talk about the movies that I recently watched that I really enjoyed. And this is episode 21, and this is a werewolf movie that I'm going to talk about. Okay, I am Peter the Booklover, and I want to thank you for coming by. I like to read books and I like to watch movies, so I make videos talking about the movies that I watch and the books that I read. And I want to thank you for coming by. You're really cool for being here. Now, let's get into this. Now, this is a story that was written by Stephen King, and this is also a movie. This was a movie directed by Daniel Adayas, and this is the book called Cycle of the Werewolf. This is a movie in 1985 called Silver Bullet, and this is a great movie, and I'm going to enjoy talking about it. But before I give you my summary of this movie, I'm going to talk about the cast. Now, the first person I'm going to talk about is Marty, played by Corey Haim. Now, this guy's been in a lot of other movies. He was in The Lost Boys. He was also in a movie called Watchers. And he's a classic actor, and I've seen him in other things, and I really enjoy his performance in this movie. Uncle Red is played by Gary Busey. Now, Gary Busey has been in a lot of movies that I really enjoyed. He was in a movie called The Buddy Holly Story. He was also in a movie Point Break, I think, or Point Break, and a couple other movies. I can't think of them offhand, but he's an actor that I'm very familiar with, and I really enjoy his movies. The next person I'm going to talk about is Jane. She is played by Megan Follows, and she is an actress that I'm not really familiar with anything else other than this movie. But she does a great performance in this movie. Sheriff Haller is played by Terry O'Quinn. And Terry O'Quinn is in this movie called The Stepfather, and it's a very good horror movie that I really enjoyed. And then we've got Reverend Lowe, that's played by Everett McGill. And he's in a lot of things, but none of the things that I'm really familiar with. But he does a fantastic performance in this movie. Now, let me give you the summary of this movie before I give you my opinion. Okay, this starts out in the spring of 1976. The nightmare begins when a railroad worker gets killed and it looks like an accident. Pretty soon we go to a town fair and we meet Jane and Marty Coleslaw. Marty is in a wheelchair and Jane has to take care of him. Not long, we find out that Marty is a good person and he shows good character by making amends for a joke he played earlier in the movie that caused grief for Jane. So we know this is a good kid. And then not long afterwards, the werewolf takes his second victim and the town finds out there is a killer on the loose. But in the beginning, they think he's a maniac. Then at this point in the movie, we meet Uncle Red. And Uncle Red and Marty are very, very good friends. They get along very well. And Marty really loves Uncle Red. And then pretty soon, more people start missing. And the town starts to worry. And then it forms a mob to hunt down the killer. Then, not long after that, we have the nightmare scene. There's a scene in this movie that's a nightmare scene. It's a fantastic nightmare scene. It's one of my favorite scenes in this movie. I'm not going to tell you what the nightmare is about, but it's a fantastic nightmare scene. I love it. You'll remember it once you see it. And then pretty soon, after that, Marty gets an awesome wheelchair from Uncle Red. And this is a really awesome motorcycle. You know, it's kind of like a motorcycle wheelchair, and it's really cool. It is called the Silver Bullet. And then, not long after that, Marty finds out that it is a werewolf that's killing people and not a madman. And he injures him. Then, not long after that, Marty and Jane search the town for the person who is a werewolf by looking for the injury inflicted by Marty. And then not long after that, we have this chase scene. And this is a fantastic chase scene. Really, really awesome. I loved it. And then we have a very good finale. The finale is fantastic. I really love it. It's pretty cool. I'm not going to tell you the events that happen in the finale, but the finale is great. And it's wonderful. And gotta tell you, this movie is really great. Now, the book by Stephen King, Cycle of the Werewolf, is a fantastic book. And this is very close to the book, and both are really amazing. There's like this secret reveal in there that's really cool, and I love the reveal in the middle of this movie. And there's so many cool things in this movie. This is an iconic werewolf movie. I really love this. And if you have not seen this, I highly recommend you see this. And if you haven't seen this in a long time, I highly recommend you watch this again. And you will see how awesome this werewolf movie is. It's one of the best werewolf movies of all time. It's one of my favorite, and I love it. A lot of people might say American Werewolf in London is their favorite werewolf movie, but this is pretty close to American Werewolf in London. American Werewolf in London has better special effects, but the way this movie is put together is just fantastic. And that's about it. I want to thank you for coming by. If you liked me talking about Silver Bullet, do me a favor and hit the like button. If you want to talk to me, let me know what you think. Leave it in the comments. I would love to hear from you. I always read the comments and I respond to the comments. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I would really love to have your subscription. I'm constantly making new videos and I'm constantly trying to improve myself as I make these videos. And if you had a good time, I thank you for coming by. Once again, I really appreciate your time. It's really awesome that you came here. I am Peter the Book Lover, and I hope to see you in the next video.